Is the MediEvil Remake an actual one-to-one remake? Actually, not quite, it seems. Let's talk about it.
No!
What's up, guys? Canadian Guy here, and back with, a video that has me a little bit perplexed. So recently, as you may know, a demo for MediEvil came out called MediEvil, the short-lived demo. And I emphasize on the short part. It's basically only the first level and Dan's crypt. And no, his crypt is not a level, don't tell me that. It's a mini tutorial at best. So I played through the demo like 3 to 5 times and then decided to hop back into the original MediEvil while having the short-lived demo up on another screen to try to get comparisons. And what I found was a little shocking, to be honest. There are some differences in the game that stray far away from the original for reasons that don't really make sense to me, and I'm not talking about the new features. See, Vicarious Visions had the original source code for Crash, so they had all the placements of all the boxes, enemy hitboxes, speeds, etc. Yes, Vicarious did adjust some things, like Crash's jump arc, but overall, the Insane Trilogy tried to stick to the original to a T. Spyro Reignited didn't have the pleasure of having the source code, so they made Spyroscope, a program that looked at an emulation and allowed them to be able to determine the exact placements of gems, baskets, enemies, you name it. Yeah, there were some controlling differences in Reignited compared to the originals, but still felt respectful to the original games. MediEvil, on the other hand, has decided to change things up a little bit. Now, in the short demo, there was very little we could actually take away from the game, but there were some things that were changed that still don't make sense to me. The first one right away is the placement of Sir Dan's sword. He walks up from his slumber, and in the original the sword was floating right there, but in the demo there's no sword there. In fact, it's down the hallway here and floating in front of a new statue of Sir Dan. The floating star rune here was floating in the center in the original of the walkway, but in the remake, it's been shifted off to the right. Also, the actual archway to go get the sword is much smaller than it was compared to the original. Actually, there are a lot of small changes and adjustments, and this is just in Dan's crypt. When we go out to the graveyard, more runes and stuff have been shifted, but not only that, but enemy spawns have been changed or altered, and in fact, that has been the biggest change of this game, the enemies. At one point in the level, when you put the rune into the hand, when the door opens up, you walk in and kill the 6 passive zombies who are standing there. But in the new one, you open the door up and it's like a mini horde of rabid marmots that's coming to eat your face. There are 7 of them, by the way, and then afterwards when you enter the gate, there are 3 more you have to clear out, totaling in 10 zombies. There is also an area where the chalice is that was adjusted. In the original, you would open the gate, walk through it, turn left, and grab the chalice. But in the new game, you simply walk forward and instantly pick it up in this little nook and cranny instead of turning left. There's even more differences in this whole new demo, but you get my point. I don't need to keep rambling on about it. Before I continue, I am not the type of person that goes, this game needs to be pixel to pixel perfect. If it's not, the game is ruined. I'm open to change, but these changes that we have seen here are confusing me. See, if you're going to be doing a remake that's trying to follow the same style of gameplay of the original game, then you want to try to make sure everything is as close as possible in terms of placement of items and other such important tasks that need to be done. If you were to change any aspect of the remake, it would be for the intention of improving the experience for the game. These changes that I have seen, they literally don't improve the game or make it worse. It's just kind of there. It almost feels like things are changed just for the sake of changing the game up, even if there was no problems that the original area had. So it just comes down to the one-word question: why? Why are these seemingly mild changes done to the game if they're not to improve it? Now, maybe they didn't have the original source code and they're just kind of winging it? Well, that doesn't seem to be the case. In an exclusive interview with PlayStation, the developers from Other Ocean had said that they had access to the original source code and were even able to see cut content and ideas that the original studio had in mind for the game. So again, they had access to the placements and the code of the original game like Crash Insane. Why such small changes when there isn't really a reason behind them? Now, the changes I pointed out weren't out of this world different, but my concern swoops in with the question, what about the rest of the game? On top of this, the AI for the zombies and the enemies in general are much harder than they were in the original. The zombies that charge you in the original were slow, lumbering, and could see them coming a million miles away. But in the remake, they are much faster and overall more difficult to fight. Again, another change that seemingly was made to the game. Now, we only played the first level and there is stuff that's already been altered. So what else has been changed? Are there drastic differences or are they minor? We'll have to wait and see. Now, how do I feel about the differences? I'm honestly a little mixed. See, I'm okay with them because, well, they are really minor, and as someone who doesn't have an overwhelming amount of nostalgia for this game, it doesn't bug me all that much. But what I don't like is that the key items have been moved and shifted around that seemingly has not improved the game in any way. If this was Spyro for me, and gems and certain objectives were shifted to different parts of the map in the remake, I would be kind of frustrated. So I can imagine that some diehard MediEvil fans may not be the biggest fans of these changes either. I'm still perplexed at some of these changes as they don't add much, if not nothing, to the game. And shouldn't changes done to this style of game be towards improving the game overall? I don't know, just a thought. But what do you guys think? Let me know in the comment section below.
By the way, a huge shout out to my Patreons and sponsors on the channel. I appreciate your support and letting me be able to do this full time as I got a family to feed. If you want to support the channel, the Patreon is in the description below. And be sure to subscribe for more nostalgic content. And while you're at it, why not check out another video I recently made? Anyway guys, thanks so much for watching and I'll see you guys next time.